Well, okay. صباح الخير. صباح الخير من الأردن، صباح الخير من الجزائر، صباح الخير من المغرب. Good morning and welcome to this webinar. And the main objective of this MSCA Info Day is to increase Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco participation in Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions with a particular focus on MSCA Staff Exchange. Today with us, we have uh, Mrs. Umayma Bani Salman, MSCA National Contact Point from Jordan. We have, of course, Mrs. Karima Silmawi, MSCA National Contact Point from Morocco. We have also Mrs. Samira Chader from the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Algeria. Of course, Prestige Equer from MSCA Alumni Association. And finally, Christina Gomez from MSCA-GLOPOL project. So welcome to you all on this webinar, and let's start the official welcome remarks from Mrs. Umayma. Umayma, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ahmed. Good morning, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the Horizon Europe MSCA Info Day for Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco. Thank you for joining us and for your interest in the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions, particularly the Staff Exchange Program. My name is Umayma Bani Salman, and I am the MSCA National Contact Point for Jordan at the Higher Council for Science and Technology. I hold a degree in chemical engineer and a master in mechanical engineer with a focus on energy and sustainable development, which allows me to closely understand the needs and perspectives of researchers and innovators. Allow me to start with a brief introduction about our institution. The Higher Council for Science and Technology was established in 1987 as an independent national body that serves as the umbrella for science and technology and innovation activities in Jordan. HCST plays a central role in shaping national research policies, setting priorities, and supporting research and innovation to align with Jordan development goals. Through its mandate, HCST works to strengthen the national scientific base, promote applied research, and enhance collaboration between academia, industry, and international partners. It also represents Jordan in regional and international scientific platforms and foster cooperation agreements that open new opportunities and institutions. Within HCST, the International Cooperation Department plays a key role in building bridges between Jordan and the global research communities. The department works to facilitate participation in international programs, support partnerships, and connect Jordan researchers with funding opportunities and collaborative networks worldwide. In this context, HCST serves as the national coordinator for Horizon Europe National Contact Points in Jordan. This means we are responsible for guiding researchers and institutions, raising awareness and supporting successful partnerships in Horizon Europe programs, including MSCA. Today's Info Day is part of this effort. It aims to increase awareness and participations from our region in MSCA, particularly in the Staff Exchange Scheme. This program offers a unique opportunity to build international partnerships, exchange knowledge, and strengthen research and innovation capacities across borders. We are also very pleased to be organizing this event in collaboration with our colleagues from Algeria and Morocco under the MSCA Global project, creating a viable platform for regional exchange and cooperation. I encourage all participants to actively engage in today's session, ask questions, and explore opportunities for collaborations. This event is not only about information sharing, but also about building connections that can lead to strong and successful proposals. Thank you once again for joining us today. We look forward to a productive and inspiring sessions. One last request. Can you write down in the chat box you're from which country and from which institution you are? Thank you all. Back to you, Ahmed.
Thank you, Mrs. Umaima, for this nice introduction. Let's give the floor now to our colleague, Mrs. Karima Selmawi from Morocco. Karima, the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you, dear Ahmed. Good morning. My name is Karima Selmawi. I'm professor of biology, specialty phytopathology at Ibn Tufayl University in Morocco, and also national contact point of Marie Skłodowska-Curie. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and partners from both the academic and non-academic sectors, it's a great pleasure to welcome you today all the information they dedicated to Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action. Our objective today is clear, is to significantly boost the participation of Algeria, Jordan, and Moroccan partners in one of the world's most prestigious research and innovation programs. This is a crucial fact that we must highlight today. Institutions from our three countries are automatically eligible to the European Union funding. This eligibility is a powerful asset, yet it remains one of the best kept secret to the research landscape. Our mission today is to change and to ensure this opportunity is properly recognized and sized. Through this session, we will place a special focus on staff exchange. We believe these schemes is the most accessible and effective gateway for our university and public institution and the private sectors, stakeholders to build sustainable international bridge. It's a unique tool to exchange knowledge, strengthen skills, and foster innovation. Before we dive into this technical session, I would like to extend a special welcome to the representative from the project from the European Commission and the RIA, who are present today with us. This presence underscores the strategic importance of our region partnership and provides us with a direct link to the heart of Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action. I encourage each of you to be proactive today, ask questions, challenge the modalities, and start identify your future partners. Do not leave this room without a clear vision of your next application. Let's turn this information into action and make Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco leading players in the Marie Skłodowska-Curie landscape. I wish you all a productive and inspiring information day. Welcome to the Marie Skłodowska-Curie community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Karima. And let's give the floor to Mrs. Samira Chader.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, all colleagues from Morocco, from Jordan, for this presentation. And I want to give some words concerning this webinar. So I present myself. My name is Samira Chader, Deputy Director of University Cooperation and Research Programs at the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research. And since we have not a new NCP, Marie Skłodowska-Curie, so as cooperation direction and universities exchanges, I will represent all the NCP of Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action. In my profile as a scientist, I'm a permanent research on biomass energy and biological hydrogen. I'm here to express my pleasure and the honor to be with our colleagues from Jordan and Morocco in this regional workshop to talk about MSCA actions. MSCA actions is an important opportunity to participate and to promote more participation of Algerian, Moroccan, and Jordan people to the proposals. This opportunity represents a key chance for our university and research community to achieve excellent scientific and to develop the skills of members on all the component of higher education and scientific research. And we hope, we have several participation online, and it's really a good opportunity. And we hope that the people researchers, and especially staff people can submit and can participate. It's important. As an Algerian community, we haven't a lot participation on Marie Skłodowska-Curie, and this webinar and also the webinar we organized together in Constantine in several months ago. It's important and give all the let's say the opportunity to our researcher to participate, and also to let's say to develop more information about the mobility of this program. Thank you, Ahmed Malal, for this webinar, and thank you for our colleague from all the countries who are present here in this webinar. Thank you very much, and hope we will have some hours successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Samira, for this introduction. Same for also our colleague, Mrs. Karima Selmawi, and of course, Ms. Omeima. So I will move now to present a small overview of Horizon Europe and the position of Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan in Horizon Europe participation, of course, as well as MSCA. So let me share my screen, and can you see my screen? Nice. Okay.
All good. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's just present MSCA-GLOPOL project. And I want to say that MSCA-GLOPOL is Global Cooperation Policy Enhancement and Strategic Promotion. And this is project funded by Horizon Europe, and the duration is 3 years. That's the 3 pillars of excellence. We have the policy, we have the promotion, and we have the synergy. And you can see here in the map, there is 6 regions and 20 countries. And in our region, we have Algeria, we have Tunisia, we have Morocco, Egypt, Jordan, and South Africa. Today, this webinar, we have Algeria, we have Morocco, and we have Jordan. And we will explain why, because the 2 countries, they have the same positions as a third party. And the project, the end of the start, we start the project in June 2025, and the end of project May 2028. And of course, we work closer with DG IAC, and with all stakeholders, NCPs, universities, and Ministry of Higher Education in the whole regions and countries. For today, let's start with the architecture of Horizon Europe. And you can see the architecture of Horizon Europe. We have the pillar 1, we have the pillar 2, and we have the pillar 3. Today, our focus in the pillar 1, the excellent science, and the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions. And we try to see in details all actions in MSCA. And of course, Christina, our colleague, she will try to focus and give us a lot of details about the participation in MSCA Staff Exchange. So the budget, it's 6.6 billion euro. And the duration between 2021 until 2027. And actually, we are waiting for the next framework program called Horizon Europe, FP10. And the start, it will be in 2028 to 2034. Okay, we have many actions in MSCA. And the key features for MSCA actions, it's researchers, training, skills, and career development, excellent researchers in all domains, and it's a bottom-up approach. And it enhances the international sector, academic, non-academic, and interdisciplinary mobility, and attractive working and employment conditions, structuring impact in organizations across the EU and beyond, and contributing to EU competitiveness. So don't forget, this year we have the anniversary years for Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions, and this is 30 years. So the scientific panels, we have the chemistry, the economic sciences, the information science and engineering, the environment and geosciences, life sciences, mathematics, physics, and social sciences and the humanities. And for MSCA Actions, we have 6 actions. The first one is the doctoral network and the postdoctoral fellowship. We have the staff exchange. We have the co-found Choose Europe for Science and MSCA and Citizens. Today, our webinar, we will focus on staff exchange action. So let's try to present some activities. Of course, Christina, she will give us a lot of details about staff exchange, but just to know about other actions. And you see here, before starting the presentation of all actions, we have we should use the same terminology. We have the EU member state, we have Horizon Europe associate countries. Actually, in Africa, we have Tunisia and we have Egypt, and we have the other third countries like Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan. Actually, so I will move to the position of Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco in Horizon Europe and MSCA. And let's start with Algeria. In Horizon Europe, the net EU contribution until now is 1.4 million euro, with total participation, senior grants, 10 Horizon Europe participation. And you can see here the top participants from Algeria and the net EU contribution. Of course, I get all figures from Horizon dashboard, and it is public, so everyone can access and get the same figures. And for MSCA, you can see since Horizon 2020, the last framework program, we have many participations, and you can see from 2015 until 2025, we have many participations. When we see the action, you will see the staff exchange. There is 2 participation in staff exchange, RISE 9 participation, and individual fellowship 2, and co-found 1. Let's move to Jordan. For Jordan, I think the same situation like Algeria. We have 1.67 million euro the net EU contribution, but we have 13 senior grants, means that 13 participation in project. And you can see here the top participant from Jordan and the net EU contribution. We move now to MSCA actions. For Horizon Europe, we have many participation. You can see 1 participation in 2020, 1, of course, in 23, 3 participation in 24, and 1 in 25. And for staff exchange, there is 3 participation, RISE 3, PF 2, and doctoral networks 1 participation. I moved now to Morocco. In Morocco, we have the net EU contribution 6 million and 5, and the senior grants, we have 55 Horizon Europe project, and you can see here the legal name of top participants from Morocco. Of course, you can see the net EU contribution. And for the MSCA, very active participation in MSCA. You can see from 2022 and 2025, more than participation, a lot of participations, MSCA actions. Before that, we have Horizon 2020, of course, very active participations. And for staff exchange, there is 15 participations. Our aim today is to enhance all figures in Algeria, in Jordan and Morocco. In staff exchange, we will see there is a lot of opportunities and the possibility of participations. It's possible, so we can participate and get this chance to be involved in MSCA staff exchange project. So let's try to give small overview for all actions before giving the floor to Christina. And what is staff exchange? It's a research and innovation mobility action It equips researchers and organizations worldwide with advanced skills and cutting knowledge. It fosters mobility of entities from both the academic and private sectors and can be combined with other programs like synergies. And the budget allocated to this year, 2026, is more than 97.92 million euros. It's a big budget. So the objective of the call is the international intersector and interdisciplinary mobility for LNI staff, and knowledge transfer between participant organizations, collaboration between the academic and non-academic sectors, including SMEs, and the cooperation across the globe. For MSCA doctoral networks, the main features is one consortium proposing a research project and with interlinked individual PhD research project for doctoral candidates. And who can apply? Any legal entity worldwide, but not all applicants are eligible for funding. And of course, for the consortium, we have minimum 3 entities from 3 member states and associate countries, of which one from at minimum from member states as a beneficiary. So universities, research institutions, and research infrastructures, business including SMEs and other socio-economic actors. So MSCA co-found main features. So it's mono-beneficiary action, new or existing national, regional institutions schemes for doctoral training and postdoctoral fellowships. And the focus is best practice, high standard and excellence working conditions, sustainable sectoring effects. So for MSCA co-found, you can see here, the main objective is to co-finance new or existing doctoral programs and postdoctoral fellowship schemes for national, regional, or international level with the aim to spearhead the best practices for MSCA, including international, intersectoral, and interdisciplinary research training, as well as international as cross-sector mobility for researchers at all stages of their career. So the budget for this year is 105 million euro, and the call opening and call deadline, it's 8 April. And of course, for the co-found next year, it will be 6 April 2027. So MSCA co-found eligible participants, single legal entity established in the EU member states, and single legal entity established in Horizon Europe associate country. So for MSCA Choose Europe, now we can say that it's mono-beneficiary action to co-found programs with in which academic or non-academic organizations recruit and train researchers with a vision to employing beyond the project period, and the target group researchers at postdoctoral level who comply with the mobility rule. And the duration is between 2-3 years. 2 years phase fully funded by the beneficiary and the partners. The compositions, 1 beneficiary from EU member state and Horizon Europe associate country, plus implementing partners. And for recruitment, we have 4, at least 3 researchers postdoctoral level. And the budget, it's 25 million and maximum 5 million per beneficiary per co-founding requirement. So MSCA and citizens, it's of course, it's about European Researchers' Night and researchers at schools activities. And of course, who can participate? Organizations from member states and associate countries. Of course, a third country can participate, but without fund as associate partner. So I think the budget's the maximum, it's 2 years, and the budget per project, the maximum it's 350,000 euro per project. This is table summarize some opening and deadline for all calls, and you can see for 2026 for staff exchange, the deadline is 16 April 2026. It's still possible to participate and still possible to join consortium and this call of proposal. Of course, we have the postdoctoral fellowships. The deadline is 9 September 2026. Doctoral networks, of course, 24 November 2026. And the co-found, you can see the deadlines. Of course, we will present and we will organize and co-organize with you other actions to promote postdoctoral fellowships and to promote doctoral networks. Okay, of course, if you want to find some useful documents, there is a lot, of course, there is a lot, and you can, of course, see the MSCA-GLOPOL website project. There is a EFTA portal. Of course, there is a lot of websites, and you can see the guide of applicants, the MSCA work program, the proposal templates, the Horizon Europe program guide, the model grant agreement, and FAQ. There is a lot of resources. And after this webinar, we will share with you the recording video plus all presentations plus all useful links to be able to connect with all opportunities. So I will stop there. I give the floor to my colleague, Christina. Christina, the floor is yours to present us all details about Staff Exchange call for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ahmed, for this introductory part of MSCA in general. As you can see already from the start of this presentation, from Ahmed's presentation, there are several different calls that you might be interested in. Now, that was just to give you an overview. There's a lot of information in MSCA, a lot of information to be digested. So please be reassured that there's going to be additional activities of promotion. Ahmed will also be present physically in some of the countries. So this one, we are going to focus specifically on the Staff Exchange, which is a collaborative call for institutions in Europe and also in Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan to be able to create different consortia. And I will explain you. Let me see if I can share my screen. I can, yes, okay. I will explain you, I will try to guide you through the different steps on how to submit the proposals, how can you find partners, for example, because obviously you need to have this minimum of 3 institutions in Europe. But let me just, because I have a long presentation, Ahmed, if that's okay with you, maybe if you see that at some point there are a lot of questions, you stop me, and then we can take some of the questions to allow,
yes.
To advance further. So, this presentation, my name is Christina, and I am together with Ahmed. I'm part of the MSCA-GLOPOL project. I am responsible for all that has to do with promotion in the project, but I have been in my previous life, as I like to say, I've also been a national contact point for MSCA for Marie Curie in Spain. So I guess I am familiar with all the content that I'm going to explain to you. So Ahmed has already explained some of the relevant terminology and features. I will just stress some of them because I think they're very important to then understand the rest of the presentation. I will guide you through the call and the main features. How can you find partners and what are the available instruments that are there for you to use? How does the submission system works and how is this evaluated? Okay, and then some general tips and tricks depending on how we're doing with time for you to understand how the proposal is written, because obviously as Algeria, Morocco, Jordan, you will not be coordinating the proposal, but you will jump in a consortium to be part of it as a partner. So some important terminology and aspects to take into account. So Ahmed already mentioned that MSCA, it is about, I would say 2 or 3 core aspects. One is about training and skill developments at the different stage of the careers. And you will see that in staff exchanges, we not only talk about researchers, but we talk about staff. Meaning this staff exchange call is open to participation in the funded project for postdoctoral fellows, for doctoral candidates, but also for technical R&I staff at your institutions who is willing to do a secondment in a consortium, okay? Then this is all about excellence research, of course, but done in a bottom-up approach. This means that it is you as an institution and as a researcher who will define what is the content of your science that you want to see funded. There is, as Ahmed showed, 8 different panels, because obviously we need to have an order when the proposals are submitted to evaluate them. So they will be evaluated in one of those 8 scientific panels, but everything is bottom up. You choose what you want to see funded. It's not a top-down approach as in different parts of the Horizon Europe framework program. Now that say, obviously it's bottom up, but it's very well aligned with all the EU initiatives such as the Green Deal, the twin transitions, etc., etc. So the triple I dimension that you will see me talk about a lot during the presentation. It's international because you're moving countries, you're moving across countries to participate and be funded in this project. Intersectoral, because it is important, even if this is funded under the excellent pillar, to have the contribution of the non-academic sector, the industry, the SMEs, the NGOs, so other social actors or actors where researchers can carry out his or her research activity apart from academia. This kind of mix between the two words is very important in MSCA. And the triple I, the third I, will be interdisciplinarity, because we've seen this more and more often that it is important to really be able to join resources and efforts from different fields to contribute to solve all our societal challenges that we are all facing right now. Attractive working condition and employments, this is something that you will see in all the different actions. It is very relevant to ensure that the researchers within the period of the projects are well trained, but also well recruited in those that do need recruitment, not the case of staff exchange. The idea of the Horizon Europe Framework program is it's driven by impact. And this means that there's going to be, and you will see, several impacts in the project. Not only at individual level, of course, you as a researcher will be able to participate and to learn in an individual or collaborative project, but also for your institution that will be more structured and that will get an international dimension and that will be able to align its resources in its human resources in research with what's going on from the perspective of the European Commission. And of course, there's going to be an impact in the system as such, in the R&I system. So Ahmed mentioned the different actions. I'm not going to repeat them. I think this slide is very nice because it shows you how the researchers is participating in each of them. And that means that you as an individual, because I imagine that we have different experiences and different backgrounds and profiles in the audience, you might be interested in applying as an individual. So the postdoctoral fellowship will be for you, and we will explain in other seminars and webinars. Then some others are for researchers who will apply in the vacancies of the selected projects. Those will be the doctoral networks, because once the projects are funded, then the doctoral candidates can apply for the positions that are open in your access. For example, the same applies for CoFund, and the same applies or will apply for Choose Europe for Science. And then in the case of MSCA citizens and staff exchange, the researcher participate in the project's activities when the project is created and when it will be funded. Okay. So this is also very important. Why? Because you need to understand where Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan are participating in this program. So we have the definition on how to participate in Horizon Europe. EU member states and associated countries participate in equal conditions. And then we have what we call the terminology of third countries, all the third countries. You can be a third country with a high income, for example. You can be a third country with the middle and low income. This is the case of Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan. And this means that you will be eligible to receive funding in all the projects once the minimum of a consortium is created. So this is important also in the case of staff exchanges. And now I arrive to staff exchanges. So Ahmed mentioned this is a collaborative project, and the idea is to have a research and innovation mobility project. The idea is to equip all the institutions worldwide with the experience to prepare an R&I project on a specific science field, and then do different and build the project in terms of secondment. I mean, the staff will be seconded to the different institutions that make part of the consortium by fostering the mobility of the different institutions and by mixing academic and private institutions. So you know the budget, and it's also possible to combine this funding with other European programs in other European programs. So you will be able to participate as an individual in a project that is funded and do your mobility. And I have to say that this one is a slide that kind of summarizes a little bit the main features of the call, is that in MSCA is per se the most international section of Horizon Europe. It has been of Horizon 2020, and we can see the trend also in Horizon Europe. But staff exchange as such is the call and the program with the highest participation of non-EU, so third countries, non-EU countries in Horizon Europe. And also is the call where most businesses, SMEs, large companies, hospitals, in MSCA, there's a definition that does not only include business, but it talks about non-academic work. And this means business, but also NGOs, but also hospitals, but also public administrations, for example. So this says this mix and collaboration of private and public institutions has led to, for example, many patents in these MSCA Actions staff exchange, and a success rate that it's still very good one, that it's a little bit on top of the normal average rate. So you have to still benefit of this. Normally, I would say, depending on the pillars and on the programs of Horizon Europe, the success rate is really lower than the 30%. Okay, so how can you apply to staff exchange, and how does it work? The idea is to construct a project where we will have minimum entities, where you will be funded. You will receive unit cost funding for the institutions that will allow for the secondments of its staffs with a duration of a maximum 4 years project. Okay, when we talk, this is a lot of, I would say, European Commission terminology, but you need to know that you're going to have a consortium that will last 4 years, and you will be able to do secondments for a maximum of 360 person month. You have to understand that 1 person month is 1 person working full-time for the project. So there is a maximum of 360 person that can be seconded. So depending on the number of researchers, staff from your different institutions that will participate, you will come up with a specific amount for the consortium. How are the consortium built? You need to have at least 3 entities in 3 different countries, 2 of them being based in Europe. Okay, and it is also something new in this year that the consortium needs to include institutions from both sectors. Okay, we mentioned the differences in MSCA, the academic world, so the institutions who provide high education institutions who provide with different titles, for example, the PhD titles, universities, research centers. And then the non-academic sectors, the rest of institutions where researchers can deliver and carry out their career. So it's important to have this mix. It's compulsory to have this mix in the different consortia that are created. For example, you can have 3 entities in Europe, but you can also have 3 entities with one of them located outside of Europe. Okay, and this is where the institutions from Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan can participate. So the institutions in Europe will be called beneficiaries because they will receive the funding, they will manage the funding, and then the associated partners will participate with no funding, but they will also have no cost in participating in the project because the funding will be delivered by the beneficiary to allow for these secondment and staff exchange and staff exchanges. This is important for you to understand. The way a staff exchange project works, and you will see this because we're going to have an example from a real case and a success story from a researcher who is taking part on a staff exchange project. You need to know that the secondments are always international, okay? They can take place, for example, from Spain to Italy within Europe, but also from Spain to Algeria. And in this case, what it is important and very interesting for Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan is that the two ways mobility is funded in the project, okay? So researchers from Spain going to Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan will be funded in the project. And the other way around, your staff in your institutions in Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan will also be funded to come to Europe to do the secondments because you are a low and middle income country and a third country in this program, okay? So nothing to worry about in terms of funding. Then we are talking about a consortium created by different institutions, so at least 3 in EU member states and Horizon Europe associated countries, and third countries as your countries. Who is eligible to participate and to do this kind of staff secondments? So those what we call the secondment staff members. So any type of staffs involved in R&I activities. This is important, researchers, but also administrative and technical staff from your institutions. And then researchers can be from doctoral candidates to postdoctoral candidates, not a single limitation on experience or year for experience or nothing similar to that. The idea is to carry out secondments from 1 to 12 months. So the maximum secondment will be 12 months for a person or 1 month as a minimum. You can split into several stages secondments. That's also important because sometimes it's not easy to live for 6 months in a row, but you can have 2 different secondments, for example, split in several states. What is this? It's essential, is the fact that when you're doing the secondment, you have to be devoted full time to this activity. You cannot be invested in any other project at the same time because you are in a secondment trying to get specific knowledge from another institution that you will bring back to your home institution. And that is the idea of my last point. After the secondment, the staff will have to return to the institution they're coming to actually be able to transfer this knowledge and to the different staff and to the institutions that they've been sent for. Now, budget, I'm not going to talk too much, but the idea for you is to understand that MSCA works in the basis of unit cost. So it's 100% of funded cost in the project. The budget is automatically calculated in the system when you apply. And the idea is that it doesn't cover for a salary in staff exchange, okay? In staff exchange is actually one of the only one MSCA actions that you will not see somebody recruited. The researchers will not be recruited because they are already in the institutions. So what the funds will offer is a top-up allowance, meaning to cover for the accommodation, for the travel expenses when the researcher is going to a secondment. And this is for the researcher who is going to do the secondment. There's also institutional cost, and you can see research, training, networking, and management and indirect costs. These costs will cover all that has to do with laboratories expenses, the material that needs to be bought for the lab, but also training activities and also attending conference, preparing workshops, seminars, etc., etc. So all this is covered for in the project, okay? And obviously the budget will differ from project to project depending on the number of secondments that are taking place in the project. So for those of you who might be familiar with what happened in 2025, these are the main difference, let's put it that way, for 2026. So it is important and it's necessary that the consortium include entities from the 2 different sectors, academic and non-academic. There was a rule, but I haven't really explained it because it doesn't affect you as a third country, but in Europe there was a rule where the interdisciplinary secondments had to be a maximum of a third of the total secondments, but this doesn't affect you, so we won't go into details. And then previously, before, for a researcher to be able to participate in a staff exchange, he or she had to be involved in the institutions for more than a month. So this has been removed, okay? You can participate even if you just started in your institution 15 days ago. So now you might be thinking, okay, you're telling me that I can participate in a staff exchange project, but there has to be a consortium with at least additional institutions who will coordinate from Europe. So how can I access those institutions? Where can I find, are there available tools offered for us to find specific partners to collaborate with? There are, okay? And one important thing, and I will first go to this one first, is that obviously you have to use your own personal networks. This is important by going to events, by going to conference, by sharing your results, and also know and understand who is already collaborating in international projects in your research field. So try to incorporate current or former collaborations and also benefit from your joint and ongoing activities. Now, in staff exchange, there's a big percentage of projects that are built based on previous collaboration, meaning the full consortium will not be a new consortium. It means that at least 2, 3, or 4 partners, normally we talk about a minimum of 3 institutions, but this project can be larger, 4, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, depend the number of institutions, but it can be large networks, okay? But many of them have some previous collaboration that they use as a core to prepare the proposal. So when we talk and before showing you the tools that are available for you in the funding tenders portal, in the MSCA matchmaking platform, I will not talk about the European Enterprise Network. I will talk about your access. Sorry, that's a mistake. What I think it is important for you to understand is that in order to create a good consortium, you need to have a very solid management structure. You need to ensure that the management process is going to be well handled by the institutions, and then that the institution will allow for mechanism to allow the researchers to do what they have to concentrate on, and that is to research. Previous experience is always good to have in part of the consortium, and of course you need to have the adequate resources and infrastructures, because when we talk a little bit on how the proposals are evaluated, there's a section that is called implementation, and obviously the institutions need to be able to host the researchers, but also to provide them with infrastructures to do their work, okay? The consortium has to integrate the triple-I dimension. It has to be international, it has to be interdisciplinary, it has to be intersectorial. And it's also important to think if the different institutions that are part of the consortium have their specific roles and responsibility very clear, meaning each of them has to do a specific task. It's not to overlap the activities, it's to create synergies to ensure that all the target audiences are targeted and are covered, and that the synergy will work well to have something that it's also important because you are embarking in a 4 years project. You have to have commitment and trust by the different partners. It also has to be well balanced in terms of gender. This is also important. And also sometimes in terms of geography, it's also essential to include the different institutions from the different countries, if this is something needed from the technical and scientific perspective of the project. What else can I say? Let me go into the specific tools that are available for you to find researchers. The first one, and this is something that I will also present when I mention how to submit the proposal, is the funding and tender portal. Why? Because this is the portal where all the calls from not only Horizon Europe, but other European projects are included. So this is where you find how to submit the proposal, but also you will find partner search announcements. And we will talk about this when I show you the section on how to submit. And you can also publish your own expression of interest. Then in terms of MSCA, there's something very specific to this program, that is the Network of National Contact Points project. Okay, these projects helps to professionalize the services that are given by the NCPs in the different regions of the world, and they create many things. A lot of useful materials for the applicants to use, like handbooks and submission guidelines. This is the material I've been taking from this resource, but they also have a specific matchmaking platform. This is the link to it, and it allows you, as for example, a research director of an institution in Algeria, to enter your profile, show what your expertise is, and say, I'm a specialist in, for example, in AI, and I would like to create a consortium with different partners. So this is what I can give to the project. And you create your profile, and you can do marketplace and bilateral meetings with NCPs and supervisors and interested researchers from all over the world. Then, the last initiative that I will present is Euraccess. Why Euraccess? Euraccess, you might or might know the initiative, but it's a pan-European initiative that already has 43 countries in and around Europe involved to support research mobility. So when you're moving in and around Europe, how can you do this from an administrative perspective, but also to support the research career development. Now, it also has a partner in search in this specific portal that includes also jobs. And you will see that the hosting offers and the jobs for MSCA are all of them published in Euraccess. So this is important, and this is another tool for you. You have to log in, you have to create your account, and this is another tool for you to use. But let me also add something else on Euraccess, because I've mentioned this Euraccess portal, that is part of this pan-European initiative, but Euraccess also has 9 hubs worldwide that contribute to the promotion of Horizon Europe and to connect Europe with the rest of the world in terms of international collaboration. There are 9 hubs, as I mentioned. One of them is Euraccess Africa, that is actually also coordinated by Ahmed and 2 other colleagues, Yaril Fana, who is based in Ethiopia, and Mai, who is based in Egypt, and Ahmed, who is based in Tunisia. So that's the QR code to also access the newsletter and the subscription of Euraccess Africa. If you are interested not only in MSCA, but also in the other pillars, the Africa Initiative, the Mediterranean Initiative, you will find a lot of useful information. So my suggestion will be for you to register. Now, I don't know if we have a lot of questions. Ahmed, do you want me to take some, or will I just explain a little bit the proposal submission? Because we have like 3 subsections to go. You let me know.
Yeah, I think you can go ahead, and
Okay.
when we see good questions, I'm trying to give some response in chat.
Okay, parfait. Okay, d'accord. So the proposal submission. I've mentioned that the call, Ahmed mentioned that the call opened in December 2025, and it will close in April 2026. Now, it's only not even a month to go, okay? So it's quite tight for this call, meaning you need to have an idea in mind and how you can contribute to a consortium that is being built. For this, please use the tool that we have mentioned to try to enter a consortium and be part of it. Now, what it's important is that these calls are annual. It means that if this year you don't manage to get into an existing consortium, or you still think that you need to mature a little bit more your idea, you will be able to have this call open next year, and you might be able to participate next year. This is important, okay? When you submit in the funding tenders portal, you will see a lot of information that I'm going to show you, but you really need to read the information that are here. Essentially, I would say in this case, 2, the work program that will explain you what the call is about and all the philosophy of MSCA, and the guide for applicants, because the guide for applicants will help you understand what goes into what section and what you have to write, the font size that you need to use, etc., etc. So there's a lot of technical details for you to understand. And what do these projects look like? So all the submission is done online, and you have, let's say, 2 parts. Part 8, which is the administrative procedures, okay, that is done online. I will guide you a little bit through it, but not much, because I don't want to to give you a lot of information, you need to understand that who submits the proposal is the coordinator. He or she will take the lead, and they will ask you for specific information from your specific institution. So do not worry too much about the project submission, okay? You will have the coordinator who will support you. What is interesting, and I will talk a little bit more in detail, is this part B1 and 2. Okay, this is the description of action, and this is your technical and scientific proposal. And how does it look like? It will be evaluated with different criteria, excellence, impact, and implementation. And you have 30 pages only to convince the evaluator that this is the right proposal and it has to be funded. So, funding and tenders portal. This is one of the main outcomes of at least take-home message that you need to have. This is the page for you to understand and navigate. Okay. Normally, I know Ahmed, when he is in on-site event, he does like a demonstration on how to use it. You have the screenshots, but I think there's no time to do like a live demonstration, but you will see that in the homepage you have funding, and you can look through different ways, but the best one is to use the funding one and scroll, see all the filters that you have, and you will manage to arrive to the MSCA staff exchanges. We will leave all this presentation for you. MSCA staff exchanges call that is right now open. Okay. So this screenshot will already give you a lot of information: the opening date, the close date, what kind of call it is under MSCA Staff Exchange, and also if you see to the left, there's like a navigation path, okay, an internal navigation. This refers to the 2025 call, but it doesn't matter. The 2026 is exactly the same one, okay. So under each of these different tabs, you have information that is useful for you. Under condition and documents, you have all the documents that I'm going to mention. And then remember, under the partner search, you have this partner announcement that we have been talking about. And then, of course, you have the start submission button, but the coordinator will do this for you. You have a lot of Q&A answered here under the specific call as well. So once you go into the document, this is the conditions and document, you can download all this information. At this stage, you don't even have to register. Just download the information, read through it, and try to understand a little bit how it works. You have the work program, you have the staff exchange guide for applicants, and you have the standard application form. And this will show you exactly, I'm going to show you the criteria, but this shows you exactly how the proposal is created. And this is the template that you need to use. Always download the template for the year that is currently going on, 2026, from this call, okay? This is a search that I did this morning because I wanted to prepare the last screenshots. And actually, there are 43 searches from partners that you might be interested in consulting. Now, I know when Ahmed does this in live, it looks very good because you can go into details into each of the partners and you will find information from them. And this is very important. You will find who the institutions is, if that institution has already participated, for example, in other staff exchange or Horizon Europe or Horizon 2020 programs. So it gives you a good idea of his level, its level of expertise, and also, how well they have performed before. Again, start submission, this the coordinator will do, and there's anyway an online manual for the institutions to be able to understand this. So you need to have a peak, obviously. It's important that your institution is registered. You need to create it. And then you will see that it's possible for the institutions to have different contacts within the proposal. One can be the main contact, the supervisor, the IP, and the other one can be a contact person from, for example, a research grants office or a project management section, okay? Something that you will see also online that you have to include is the information on the acronym of your project and the short summary. What is important about these MSCA projects, these are not scientific papers, and we need to be very aware of it. You need to really write your science in the way that is understandable, not only by your experts in the field, but also by specialists, which might not be that specialist in your field, so they're more generalists. So this short summary, actually, if your project is funded, will be made public. So it needs to give information that is accurate, but also in a very generic way. These are the keywords and the 8 scientific panels that we've mentioned before. In the case of interdisciplinary projects, because it can be your case, you maybe are saying, I don't know if I have to submit my project to a life science panel or to an environmental panel. So you have to choose one, and then you have keywords and descriptors that will help the Commission actually give the best proposal to the proposals to the best evaluators, because they have this knowledge using the scientific descriptors and the keywords that you see online. Then once you are already in this online submission system, you will be able to download the Part B template, and then the coordinator will upload all the information, the documents, once they're finished, so that they can be submitted to the Commission on time. So we know what the call looks like. We know how to find partners. We also know how to submit the proposal, but we don't know how they're going to be evaluated. And this is very important, because based on that, we will construct the project. So the call is open. It will close in April, but then we'll still have to wait for a few months. So what we call the 8 months time to grant to start your project, okay, to get the evaluation from your successful or unsuccessful application, and then it's not until 2027 when the projects will start to run. So how is this excellence evaluation system working? The numbers normally are very large, maybe not that much in the staff exchange call, because they normally around 300, 400 proposals receives. But imagine that for MSCA postdoctoral fellowships, the individual one, last year, there was a number of 17,000 proposals received by the Commission. So the European Commission and the Research Executive Agency, who is the agency who takes care of the evaluations, has a very strong system established for evaluation. It's always a minimum of 3 experts who will evaluate your proposal. And again, 3 experts from very different backgrounds, okay? It is always a very balanced panel of experiences, of nationalities, of genders, age, sectors, etc., etc. And again, as I mentioned before, you will have very specialist people in your area and your field, but some others will be more generalistic. So it is important to take this in mind when preparing your proposal. And in the case of MSCA, is a single stage evaluation. So whatever you send on 16th of April will be evaluated the way it has been sent. There's no way for you to negotiate additionally under this program. So 3 different experts will evaluate your proposal individually first. And then once the individual evaluation remotely has been done, then they do a consensus meeting with each other, okay, together with the support of a chair, of a vice chair. And out of this consensus discussion, this is where the final ranking list will take place with the selected proposal. So you can see the 3 evaluation criteria. Those are more or less common they're common to Horizon Europe, not to ERC. The European Research Council is based only on excellence, but in this case, you have excellent, impact, and implementation. And each of them has specific weight. What is new this year, and this is also to be alike to Pillar 2, because this is also in Pillar 2, you need to reach a threshold of 3 out of 5 in each of the criteria to be able to pass a threshold, okay? This is important. And the score obviously vary from 0 to 5, depending on the content of the proposal. So I don't want to scare you too much, so I promise I will take a few minutes to explain the different criteria, but I think it is important for you to understand what you're going to be evaluated against. So the excellence of your project, the impact it will bring, and how are you going to implement it, okay? And this is what I'm going to explain. When we talk about excellence, you have to explain what is your project about. The impact is why are you doing it? Why and how is this going to contribute? What evidence are you going to collect, and what's the added value of the project? And then how are you going to achieve all these objectives that you're going to mention in the excellence, but also the impact that you dimension in the section impact. So we had here, remember, 4 sub-criteria. I'm not going to detail all of them, just to give you an overview of what they think an excellence project is about. But you have 4 sub-criteria, and you need to respond to each of these 4 sub-criteria when you prepare the proposal, okay? So when we talk about an excellent project, it has to be innovative and it has to have the best consortium. Always start a 30 pages proposal with explaining who is doing that, what is going to be doing, and when. Meaning you have to be very concrete on the objectives that you want to achieve, very concrete in terms of making them, establish them using the SMART systems. They have to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant for what's going on right now in your scientific field, and time bound. Okay, you have 4 years to prepare and deliver the activities. So again, start by summarizing the main aspects of the project, and always ensuring in this section that talks about innovation and research to align your project with European policies, with the Sustainable Development Goals, with global changes that are aligned with what you are suggesting that needs to be investigated and researched, okay? Your consortium has to be unique, okay? You're presenting an innovative project with the best consortium, with the best institutions that have the complementary capacities to deliver the activity. So one say that if we don't know where we're going to, we cannot advance. So you need to measure what has been already obtained. You need to ensure that you know what the state of the art is, with an updated bibliography, the previous work, maybe together with the different institutions that are part of the consortium as a basis to start the activity. So what is the challenge in your scientific field? What are the needs, and how is this staff exchange project going to contribute to explore new advances in the field and to overcome the challenges that you are mentioning in this section? Now, all this has to be done following an excellent methodology. So you're gonna to explain this in this specific section. Being again, it's all about details. You will see that you have to say if the methodology uses specific protocols or instruments from 1 month to 1 month, what institution is responsible to carry them out, etc., etc. The idea is to have an integration of methods and discipline, okay? And it's also relevant that we mention the gender dimension of science and research, meaning if you think that the results of this RNI project will affect in a different way an adult, a child, a woman, or a man, you have to somehow express this in the methodology so that you enrich the outcomes of your science. And open science, we know that the idea is to allow to open the results as much as possible or as much as necessary during the project, okay? And then lastly, this is a very specific project because it's building on an RNA project based on secondments, okay? So you really have to explain what are the plans activities within the consortium, what staff exchange is going where, to do what, and what are the networking activities around all these secondments to enhance this training acquisition from the researchers. Okay, so it's not only about doing the staff exchanges, but it's also being part of a network and trying to get these capacity building and training activities once in a while to ensure that really you are benefiting from an international and intersectoral and interdisciplinary perspective. And this will allow to really transfer knowledge within all the institutions. Now, when we talk about impact, you need to ensure that this is going to be sustainable, okay? We have mentioned that somehow a big percentage of the projects that are staff exchange project are coming from previous collaborations together, at least from 1, 2, or 3 members of the consortium. It can be in a cost action, it can be in a national project that you have, for example, but that you are involved in other countries so far, so no national, but it is a core that it's working, a core consortium, maybe in other occasions. And how will this last after the duration of this project? So you need to think medium and long term, okay? Not only on the outcomes or the outputs that you're going to generate within the project, but also what the impacts will be on a medium and long term. And obviously, the impacts will not only be individual, but also and mainly for the institutions, okay? How are you going to communicate these results? How are you going to disseminate them? And how are you going to exploit them? And this is important because it's not the same thing. To communicate something, MSCA has a strong focus on not only communicating the research within the research community, but to really open in this open science spirit. We need to ensure that we communicate the results, but also we communicate about the project to different non-academic audiences. Okay, when we disseminate the results, normally it is targeting the research community, so doing this in conferences, via papers, for example, but also to possible end users of the project, of the results, such as the industry, for example. So we need to reflect on how are we doing this? What channels are we using to convey the information to, for example, the society? What are we using to talk to young researchers? What are we using to talk to academics? What are we using to talk, for example, to the pharmaceutical industry, if this is the case that it's included in a project? And then, of course, if we are going to exploit some of the results that might occur during the project, then we need to ensure that we have a consortium agreement, that all the IPR is included and is managed within the project, and how is this going to be exploited? So what are the plans and what is the expertise as well of the institutions participating in terms of IPR. So the impact, again, as we mentioned, takes place once the project is over. It is, again, important, as we did it in the excellence section, to align all these impacts with the major global initiatives, okay, to ensure that we are really, that we know what's going on, that we know the different measurements or initiatives or roadmaps, and that we are very well aligned and understanding the KPIs in those ones. So you can have a scientific impact, for example, because you are contributing to the advancement of the state of the art, you're generating new knowledge, but your impact can also be, for example, economic and technological, because you're going to reduce costs, because you have a better protocol, for example, because you're creating a new service or you're bringing products to the markets, and you're also bringing technological advances in a specific field. But of course, it can also be social and societal impact, okay, because you're improving decision-making based on evidence science and on evidence results, maybe because you're really raising the awareness on specific issues. And then in terms of implementation, this is, once you have participated in a European project, you know what this is about. The idea is to ensure and to assure the Commission that the funds that they're giving you, you're going to use them efficiently. You have a work plan that you're going to be delivering during the project. So you have a work plan with tasks and deliverables and milestones. These are very technical jargon. And you have some sort of management mechanism and risk management mechanism. In case something goes wrong, you need to have a plan B. This is a research project, so we all know that risks occur, and we need to take them into account. And here is the section also where you explain your consortium strength, okay? The parts of the expertise, the infrastructures, and the different resources. So, and this brings me to my last slides, more or less. I would say that this is about research and innovation, but do not innovate in the template, okay? When it comes to preparing the proposal, everything is already available with you in terms of format. So use it, because you can be penalized if you don't do that. So very closely follow the call requirements, read the documents, and follow all the available guidelines. What's also important is to highlight, I would say, the EU dimension, but the international dimension of the project. What are you doing this on an international basis? What are the added value of bringing together all the resources and expertise? And also ensure that this can be sustainable at the end of the collaboration. Get a second opinion, I think it's important, but the most important for me is also contact your national contact point in your country, because they might be able to give you additional information that will be very relevant for your proposal preparation. In this case, it's also about learning where to get the partners and to be able to be part of a consortium. But I'm sure many of you have already ongoing natural collaborations outside of your country, and those are the ones you need to nurture and to work on. So I always like to finish my presentations with a quote by our dear Marie Skłodowska-Curie. who said that nothing in life is to be feared, it's only to be understood. I know we gave you a lot of information today. I know you have to digest it, but hopefully you will understand a little bit more all the benefits that these MSCA actions provide, and you are really willing to be part and participate in those ones, and we encourage you to do so. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Christina, for this nice presentation about MSCA Staff Exchange. I think there is a lot of details, but I see there is a lot of questions. I'm trying to do my best to respond to all questions, but now we have the possibility to move forward to the success story before our colleagues from the Marie Curie Alumni Association. So I think our colleague already with us, Professor Anas. Professor Anas Nouri. And I think we can just try to have some live questions. Christina, what do you think?
Yes, of course. I mean, I was going to go through some of them, but if you feel like opening the microphone to somebody, we can take some, and then I will work while the rest of the speakers talk. I will try to summarize some of them and do a final.
Nice. So I think we have 4 questions. Okay.
Hello.
Professor Anas?
Yes, sorry, I was in the call, so
no problem. Okay. So we have this flexibility. So if you want to present, go ahead, and we'll be back to questions after your presentation. So
of course,
please.
Yes, of course. So I will shortly present my my experience.
You have slides to share?
No. I have just a small.
Can you open your video?
Yes, of course, I can. Yep. Yes, it's all right.
Yes, nice.
Perfect. Yes, so I am Anas Nouri. I am an associate professor of computer science at Ibn Tufayl University in Kenitra in Morocco. So I had the opportunity to benefit from an exchange within the framework of the MSCA Staff Exchange project with a non-academic institution called the C-School in the city of Cluj in Romania. So the objective or the main goal was to analyze how digital technologies have been integrated into the non-academic sector in the city of Cluj and globally in the country of Romania. So I also had the opportunity to visit an incubator as well as the University of Cluj. During my stay, I have delivered 2 seminars on artificial intelligence tools for the productivity improvement. One for the C-School and their staff, and also one for the history department of the University of Babis Bloy in Cluj. So globally, the welcome was good, and the visit was highly enriching. So the exchange also made it possible to build a strong relationship between Morocco, especially University Ibn Tufayl and University of Cluj, and the C-School firm. and it has contributed to the integration of Ibn Tufayl University into an Erasmus Plus project that we have built together between Romania, Greece, Ireland, and Morocco. So this was a small testimony of my exchange experience with Cluj in Romania in the framework of MSCA staff exchange. Thank you.
Thank you, Anas. And so just an advice from your side for participants to get this opportunity for a staff exchange. What kind of advice?
Yes, so I will warmly encourage all of future participants to tell yes when their university or their institutions call them, because it was really really rich as experience. And my advice is to take the full time that was 1 month, because there are a lot of things to see, a lot of things to discover, a lot of people to meet. So I have met many people in the C school, in the university that works with the C school firms. So my advice is to really enjoy it, and it is a great opportunity to build new relationship and new network. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Ahmed, could I also ask? I was curious if that's okay, if I could ask maybe before leaving the floor to the rest of the participants. And thank you very much for the presentation. It was good to hear your experience. I was wondering, so you mentioned it was 1 month. Did you do that all together, or did you split the stays? I guess you did that in the same time, so 1 month, right?
No, I have split
one
time because I had one appointment here. Okay. But if I had to do this another time, I think I will not split it, because it's a great experience.
Okay. Yeah, no, but you see, it's very flexible. This is also something that we mentioned, that it's very flexible. So it's good. No, my question was more on did you what was the experience when you came back to your institution? Meaning, how did you transfer what you learned when you were outside? Did you get in specific possibilities to, I don't know, to teach that, or to open a new, I don't know, what did you do with that knowledge?
Yes. So mainly what I'm trying to do here is what C school and the University of Cluj are doing, because there is a strong relationship between C school that is a firm related to social entrepreneurship. And I want to make the similar dynamic between our university here and the firms that work in the social entrepreneurship. So I have searched for the same firms as C school here in our regions, and I am trying to do the same dynamic, because I think it's a good thing to gather university and social firms, because it helps a lot of young people, a lot of students also. And I've seen this because I have met some young people in the C school, and I have seen how the collaboration between university and C school can help these young people to search for works, to have trainings, etc.
Okay, thank you, Anas. Thank you. I think
Yeah.
we have our colleague also from Abdulwahid Zarfi join us. So Abdulwahid, please go ahead if you have questions or if you want to add some comments.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Just I have just one question to Professor Nouri. How do you find the setup of this project? And I have a question concerning the consortium. If you how do you find the consortium? If you find it in the platform of the European Commission or throughout your network with other researchers in these countries?
Frankly, this is the job of funding this consortium was made by our main supervisor of MSCA project in Morocco, that is Professor Karima Selmawi. So she's the principal contact of such project. So she just called me and she told me that there is an opportunity for a staff exchange. Are you okay to participate with your background in computer science and artificial intelligence? I was okay, and I just say okay. But Karima Selmawi, she's the main contact for all managing of such a project. I think she will give you more information, and I am really thankful to her another time for all her efforts. Yes, thank you.
We move to Karima. Yes, please.
Yeah. Just to answer to our colleague Selfie, this project was built with a university. We start collaboration with the National Economy Award, the coordinator of the project. We start with them Action One Mobility. And when they came in Morocco in this start of mobility in Erasmus Plus European Credit Transfer, they talk about possibility to develop a project together. I called my colleagues who are my colleagues in Ibn Tufayl University who are specialists in these topics, and they built together the project. We look for our consortium, we look in our network. For example, I called my colleagues in Turkey, I called my colleagues in Egypt, my colleagues from Bulgaria, she's the colleague, she calls their colleagues in Romania and Portugal, and we built a strong consortium, and we work together in the proposal.
Thank you.
Another question, Dr. Ahmed, please, concerning the budget. If the budget of this project was managed by the university or by the coordinator?
By the coordinator.
By the coordinator, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have some questions from participants, so we can just take 4 or 5 questions, and we move to our colleagues from the Alumni Association. Is it okay, Christina? Okay, so we have Nurdin Gizguz, and we have Suhila Bouaziz, we have Sharifa Abdel Baqi, and we have our colleague. I see only the email, but I will allow you. We have other Fawzia. Okay, let's start with.
In my car because today, of course, I'm come back from the university. So thank you for this webinar. It's a huge opportunity for us to contribute to this program. I'm from Algeria. I'm from the University of Sokarat. I had the opportunity to participate in Erasmus program for the last year, and we have a consortium to do some projects. But actually, we need some leaders for this project. The leader must be from the European side. For the MSA, it's a huge opportunity for Algerian people because the strategy of our university in our ministry is to teach in English, and we need to have some exchange with some universities from the other side with to promote our skills on teaching in English to have this opportunity. So the question is how we can find this partner in the other side. Thank you very much.
Okay, Chris, if you want to.
Yes. Yes, thank you for the question. I mean, we will send you the presentation and it's going to be available on the GLOPOL website. But I went through some examples for you to have a look at possibilities where to find partners, like the Funded Intenders portal is one of them. You have partner announcement in the call. You have the partnering tool for your access as well. And you have the MSCA matchmaking platform. And there's another tool, actually, I didn't mention, but I think it's also very relevant, and that is the CODIS website. CODIS includes all the information of projects and results and proposals, but projects in this case that have been funded by Europe in the framework program, sorry. So I think you can also do some search there to see what has been funded in your research field to be able to understand who is already participating, and you can get in touch with them. So those will be my main tools. But again, as we mentioned, we will share the details and the links with you at the end of the presentation.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nordine. Let's move to Sharifa. Sharifa, please. عبد الباقي. If not available, let's move to Suhila Bouaziz. Suhila? If not, we have Fawzia Derwish. Fawzia? Fawzia?
It's Faten, or what?
Okay, Faten. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm glad it's nice to meet you, first of all. My name is Faten Al-Ghunmiyin from Jordan. I'm member of the Aqaba Governorate Council representing the youth sector. Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay. I hold bachelor's degree in chemistry and diploma in non-profit organization management. Actually, my work focuses on youth participation, public policy awareness, and community development. And I have also engaged in regional dialogue programs, including policy discussions in Morocco. I'm interested also in strengthening local governance through international knowledge exchange and transferring particular experiences in local institutions. My question is, how can young public sector professionals, especially women working in local policy and governance as me, be effectively involved in MSCA Actions staff exchange projects to maximize institutional impact? And thank you for this insightful session. I look forward to connect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Faten. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Faten. Well, as we mentioned, staff exchange is open to all kind of staff, included doctoral candidates, but also technical, managerial staff, researchers, postdoctoral researchers. So in your case, what you will need to try to find is to find if the institution that you're working in right now has natural collaborators in Europe, and if they are willing to participate and prepare a staff exchange project with institutions based in EU. So again, it's the idea of defining yourself even in your collaborator network. If there are people interested in Europe to prepare a project in the field that you have mentioned, and it's possible, of course. Again, this is something that was a question, and I would like to elaborate a little bit on that. But because always, for example, in the case of public policies or social sciences or humanities, it's something that comes up as a question. How can I be involved? Is that if I am from the social sciences or humanities or political science will turn more into the economic panel. But social sciences actually is one of the top panels where proposals are submitted together with the live one. And if I recall it well, that was the time where there was the NCP, the engineering one in staff exchange, okay? Because it varies from program to program. So it means that there's a lot of demand from social sciences to be part of this project and to participate in MSCA. And this works in a way that there's no specific threshold for the different panels. So if the higher demands in social sciences panel, then the higher number of projects will be funded in social sciences panel. Okay, I thought it was important as well to mention this fact, because we always get the question on what about science, social sciences, and it is a very important panel in MSCA. I wanted to just clarify this.
Nice. Okay, I don't know if we have colleagues, they want to, they have some live questions. Suhaila Bouaziz or Sharifa Abdelbaki. If you are there, you can just go ahead with your questions. If not, we can move and be back after. So we can move to our colleagues from Marie Curie Alumni Association activities. And we have Mrs. Precious Equer from Nigeria, and she is the MSCA AA Africa Chapter Chair, and our colleague also from MSCA Middle East Chapter Chair, Abul Fazl. I think both of you already with us, so I think I give the floor now to Precious Equer. Precious, the floor is yours, please. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you for the opportunity to share. I hope everyone can see my slide now.
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Precious Equer, and I am the African Chapter Chair of the Marie Curie Alumni Association. So I am a researcher currently in the University of Western Cape, Cape Town, and my research is focused on energy storage devices and materials. So the Marie Curie Alumni Association is an association founded and funded by the European Commission. It was founded in 2012, and it has grown dynamically, boosting a network of more than 20,000 members currently. So membership is free in the MCAA, and it is open to all past and present beneficiaries of the funding under the MSCA program. So it is, like I said, it's largely funded by the European Commission, and currently the MCA provide lifetime opportunities and continuous support for its members, regardless of their location, their career path, their stage, or whatever stage they are currently in their career. The mission of MCA is to bring together the MSCA community, support the career development of our past and present MSCA beneficiaries across all disciplines and across all career stages, and to be a voice for researchers across regions and across disciplines. So our vision is an inclusive and sustainable research environment that enables knowledge to benefit society, because it is well understood that when scientists come together in their interdisciplinary from their different departments and disciplines, we can always build something better than if we do it individually. So our goal is connecting the MSCA community together. Our goal also is career development for the MSCA members, so that you're not just left on your own after your MSCA program. There is a family, there's a community that you can come, collaborate, and build your career to support your career development, and also advocacy for visitors. So 3 of our important pillars are networking, career development for our members, and then getting ourselves involved in science policy discussions. So the services the MSCA provide include member directory. Like I said, we have a network of over 22,000 researchers. So with that, we can do a lot of surveys and then have reports, analyze data, and make recommendations. We also organize events. Different chapters organize their own events and different working groups too. We support training, like this training happening. We support training. We also organize our own trainings, like the MSCA Around the World webinar. We support training of our members. We have licenses like Coursera license. We have the PEPS TV platform. We have the mentoring platform. So we have all this support to help researchers across their journey. We also have micro grants that support researchers for travels. Like recently, there was a call for Lindau 75th convention, where a lot of scientists, young scientists, get to meet Nobel laureates and interact. I've been part of that program. A lot of other MSCA members have been part of that program. So you have those kind of opportunities. And also we have awards and recognition for our members that are thriving in their different fields. So the MSCA is divided into 155 nationalities. So we are spread across 155 nationalities, and the structure is such that we have the MSCA board, we have the MSCA chapters, and we have the MSCA working group. So Africa, among the MSCA chapter, we have Africa chapter, we have Asia, we have Europe, the Americans, and the Caribbean. So African chapter is part of the structure of the MSCA. So currently we have 169 members in Africa chapter. And what we do particularly is strengthen MSCA awareness in Africa. We introduce students and researchers to opportunities under Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions so that we prepare them early for international research careers. So also we build an active research community, engage members across continents to contribute expertise and support capacity building. Yeah, the chapter also we represent engagement across Africa. So like the World Science Forum, you'll find the chapter representing researchers and presenting the views of researchers from Africa. We also collaborate with international research support networks like the Directors Africa, like the GLOPOL. We host webinars, train people, create awareness of the opportunities available under Horizon Europe and MSCA in particular. So the chapter also organized targeted webinars for African researchers. Since African researchers have their own unique challenges, we organize trainings and webinars that are specific, that specifically addresses these challenges, like the reintegration after an MSCA program, and then mentorship for African researchers. So we have those targeted webinars in the chapter. Other things we do is societal engagement. So aside researchers, aside career development, networking amongst ourselves, we try to make our impact in our society. Like we reach out to secondary schools. This was done in collaboration with Midnight on the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, where some of our members visited secondary school. And we find this important because the awareness for MSCA action is important. It comes early, so that before they go into university and start choosing where to go to, they already have a mindset that they're already aware that something like this is available. So we start early, we go to secondary school, create impact and yes, and that. Then this is also on the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. Some of our members too participated with local NGOs, visited schools, gave the kids science-based toys like Legos and building blocks just to create awareness. So these are the things we do as a chapter. And if you are a beneficiary of the MSCA program or you have previously benefited, we implore you to join us and make and build this wonderful community. It's not only going to impact you as a researcher, it's also going to impact society, because when we come together, we can do bigger and better things. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Ahmed, for inviting me, and thank you to the organizers of this program. It's a delight to present to you the African chapter. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Precious, for this presentation and the kind of assistance you gave from the Marie Curie Alumni Association and the MSCA Africa chapter. So we move to MSCA Middle East chapter. So our colleague Abul Fazl, the floor is yours, please.
All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Abul Fazl, and I just took the role of the chair for MSCA Middle East chapter. So actually, I had presented first some introduction into the Marie Curie Alumni Association, but I guess Ms. Ekevera already explained most of it. So MSCA, or the Alumni Association, this is a very big network of more than 24,000 members over 155 plus countries. So if you are currently benefiting from a Marie Curie scholarship or funding, or you have already finished your funding or your research funding, you are eligible to be a member of MSCA, and you will belong to a very big community. So the visions and missions was explained already. It's based on 3 pillars: networking, career development, and science policy. In networking, we have this annual conference for the alumni of MSCA, which is a very big event. So many members, they gather together annually and they meet and do networking. We have plans for career development for the members. We have a lot of online seminars. We have even access to some online e-courses for our members. We are also focusing on science policy, doing specialized research for policymakers, and so on. This is the structure, the General Assembly we have, the board, and then we have chapters and working groups. So in Asia, we have 5 chapters, in Africa 1. So our chapter, which is the Middle East chapter, belongs to one of these Asian chapters. There are a lot of projects, so I assume the GLOPOL, who organized this very good meeting today, is one of the projects related to MSCA as well, and there are a lot of others. As I just took the term, so we started a new term for our chapter, Middle East chapter, started this month. It will be for 2 years. I was appointed as the chair and Dr. Amani as the vice chair. So Dr. Amani was the chair in the previous years, and she did an amazing contribution to our chapter. Myself, currently, I'm a professor at Kuwait College of Science and Technology. My major is electronics and telecommunication engineering. And about my story, I benefited from the co-fund fellowship of MSCA about 10 years ago in Republic of Ireland. And I had an amazing experience taking this MSCA fellowship. So about focusing more about the MSCA Middle East chapter, we have about 34 members up to now. You can see distribution of members by country, by geographic locations. Actually, we have a lot of members from Algeria, from Egypt, from Lebanon. Gender, we have almost balanced gender distribution.
Mr. Abul Fazl, if you can just put in full screen, because We don't see the full screen.
All right, just a moment.
Okay.
All right, so now
Yes.
can you see the full screen?
No,
So-
but no.
Now is it fine?
Now, yes. Now it's fine. Yes.
Oh, okay, sure. Sorry. So little bit more details about the Middle East chapter. We have about 34 active members, and you can see the geographical distribution of our members. We have in Lebanon, we have from Algeria, from Egypt, from Morocco, from all around the region. You might ask that why we have members from Egypt and from Morocco and Algeria. These are not geographically located in Middle East, but politically these are related to Middle East, so there is no problem. We can have members from this region as well. You can see we are almost gender balanced about our members, and this is distribution based on the scientific field of our members. Most of our members are in life sciences, and then we have the engineering. All right, so as Ms. Echeverry said, the membership is free as long as you are currently doing an MSCA fellowship, or you are related with the MSCA, or you have already finished your fellowship or your funding. You can be a member of Alumni Association, and then you can apply to be part of our Middle East chapter as well. So far also we have organized, this chapter was established in 2019, and since then we have organized a lot of events as well. We had organized a lot of workshops on proposal development, for example, grant writing, introduction, similar to this session you have today. We had introduction to Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions. We had sessions on, for example, introduction to programming, to Python. You know that Python is probably one of the most popular programming languages these days, used especially for AI, artificial intelligence research. As we started a new term, we are looking for some roles, some other members to join our board, like event coordinator, communication officer, etc. And these are our strategic goals. Organize regular. So for the next 2 years, we are planning to organize regular networking events, host regional webinars, create mentorship programs, especially for young researchers, build partnership with universities and research institutes, and promote MSCA opportunities in the Middle East specifically. So the Middle East region, you know, it's a rapidly growing research ecosystems. There are a lot of new universities and young universities in the region. However, the problem is that it's a bit underconnected within the MSCAA network and MSCA. The people, the researchers, the students don't know much about MSCA in Middle East, especially in Gulf cooperation countries, in GCC countries that I am located now and I'm working here. So this is another goal. We are planning to make it more connected, the scientific and research community in Middle East, with Europe, with the rest of Middle East, and global research community. So the activities, we plan to have some research networking events, as I said, establish some mentoring programs for young researchers, work a bit on science diplomacy discussions, strengthening industry academia networking in Middle East, and so on. Before finishing, I would invite, I see that there are a lot of attendees today. So if you are already associated with an MSCA opportunity, or you have already finished your MSCA fellowship or program, so you are more than welcome to apply and be part of our chapter. And given that today webinar was targeting researchers from Jordan, from Morocco and Algeria, so all these countries are eligible to be part of the Middle East chapter as well. And you're welcome, or in the future, if you get one of these funding opportunities, then again, you're welcome to apply to be part of MCAA community and then apply for Middle East chapter as well. So this is our email address, X account, and LinkedIn profile. Again, I would like to appreciate the opportunity given to us, the Middle East chapter, and I thank the organizers of the event. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abul Faz, for this nice presentation about the MSCA Middle East chapter and all opportunities given by you. I think we should take the opportunity to join you and join, of course, the Africa chapter. I think we can allow some questions because we have time. And dear participants, if you want to if you have some questions, don't hesitate. Just raise your hand, and we will give you the possibility, the permission to give the questions live. Please, we have Fauziya, and we have our colleague, Sunday.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. My name is Sunday, and I'm here in Algeria. I'm a teaching assistant here at the University of Constantine II in Algeria. It's been a great pleasure to be here. I think it's been an amazing, seminar, webinar, and I really enjoyed the talk from everyone that presented so far. I just wanted to ask some questions just to be clear about some things. So we're talking about the Middle East, of course, Algeria and the other countries within. For example, for someone like me who is from Nigeria, attached to a university as a teaching assistant, is it possible that, I can also be part of the program? And does it have to be, individually, or it has to be by the institution, depending on what program we're going for? And what is, the actual process as to, what to follow in such cases?
Okay, well, Christina, are you with us?
I am, yes, I am in here. So thank you, Sunday. So, it's a large question because it will depend, as you mentioned very correctly, on the type of MSCA program that you choose to participate in. Meaning, if you want to apply yourself, for example, for an individual fellowship, you can do that individually together with an institution in Europe. So you will need a supervisor at the institution in Europe to prepare a proposal together with him or her. Okay, so this is done on an individual basis. If your institution would like to participate in a staff exchange or a doctoral network, then you will have to find, as an institution, partners in Europe to prepare a project, to work together, and obviously knowing that you need a minimum of 3 institutions in Europe to then add as an institution in Algeria to be then part of it. So it really depends on the role that you're taking here, if you're doing an individual mobility or individual research project, or you are participating as a research representative from your institution. And then again, the paths are always the same one. Obviously, if you need to find a partner, you have available tools for you to try to find a partner, and everything anyway will be submitted via the funding and tenders portal. That is the current official submission system. I hope I answered. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds clear, but just as a follow-up question. So let's say, for example, you mentioned about, finding a professor for the individual track, a professor that, you can partner with. And so how do you get in contact with them? Like, what's the right channel to be able to find those that are open for such?
There's no right channel, I think. You have to try to find channels. We have provided you with some channels today, but it's true that for the individual cases we haven't gone into details, your access will be the channel you can have a look at. There is a section under your access jobs that is called your access hosting offers. And there, for example, there are hosting opportunities in institutions in many different countries in Europe that show their willingness to collaborate with researchers worldwide to prepare a proposal. So this, for example, could be a good channel. Another one that often works very well is to work on your own personal collaborations outside of your country. Be active as you are today in this webinar. If you are participating in another seminar online for your scientific field, also be active. Try to reach out to maybe the most relevant researchers in your field. Have a look at their websites, follow them on social media, or have a look at the different publications that they're doing, their collaborations. This can also help you. So there's not really a right channel. It's the channel that will work for you. That would be the best one.
Okay, thank you very much for your responses.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we have Fatiha. Fatiha.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you for such an interesting opportunity to let us in the know about all this interesting program. I actually have two questions. One concerning the consortium. Since Tunisia is one of the European or coordinating countries, so can the consortium be composed of Tunisia as a coordinating country, Algeria, Jordan, and no other European country is involved? This is my first question.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. You can go. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you wanted to share another one with us.
My second question is a bit different.
Okay, so I will reply to the first one. No, it's not possible. You always need to have the coordinator can be Tunisia, of course. That's not a problem because it is an associated country to Horizon Europe, but you need to meet the minimum of 3 institutions in Europe, okay? So you need to add another 2 European ones, and then on top of the European ones, you can have Algeria, Morocco, Jordan, any other countries that is a non-EU country.
Okay, thank you so much. So my second question goes to Dr. Abul Fazl. In concerning, he said by the end of his presentation that members, I don't know if it's on behalf of individual members or on behalf of institutions, there is a possibility to join one of the chapters, either Middle East chapter or the African chapter. So is this joining after suggesting a proposal, a research proposal, or joining as associate researchers? I want to know more about that, please.
Yes, thank you very much for your question. Actually, this is a volunteer group, so we just focus on organizing events and activities. So after you successfully take your MSCA fellowship, whichever it is, it doesn't matter. There are many kinds. It was explained by Mr. Ahmed at the beginning. Whichever of these that you take, after you are eligible to apply for the MSCA membership, and when your membership is approved and you're part of the network, then in your profile, you have the access to go and apply for the Middle East chapter.
Okay.
Or if you have already finished, you can also you can apply to be part of the Middle East chapter.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
After you take, you succeed in getting one of these opportunities.
Yes, conditioned by first becoming a member of the MSCA projects.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. I think the last questions. Suhila. We have another one. Jamal. Mary. Jamal, please.
Yes. Yes, hi. This is Jumana Mari. I'm from Jordan. We're the Amina Foundation, and we're specialized in a science in applied behavior analysis. Actually, we work with autism, and we build the capacity of university graduates with continuous education. My question is not about the consortium or anything. It's just like, can we, if we are, we succeed in this, can we have a local partner like a university whereby at the end of the research and the whole project that the whole project will be handed to the university, and our goal is that it will become a new kind of something they will start teaching, like that's what we will work with them. So basically we apply with, but the final beneficiary would be the university where we hand them the curriculum, the certification, and all that. I can't hear you.
Please.
I was muted. That's a very specific and particular question there, Jamal. I'm afraid maybe we can follow that up bilaterally, because I'm not quite sure how. I mean, I'm not saying it cannot happen, but how to implement that in the proposal submission might be tricky, and it has to be very well explained. I mean, obviously, end users are very welcome in the project, and that's the idea, that it needs to have an impact. But then we will need to see how to frame it correctly. I'm going to write my email there, okay, so that you can have it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Chris, I think we come to the end, and we can give the floor to our colleagues, the official representative to Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan. You can see if our colleague Mrs. Samira Shader, Mrs. Umaima, and Mrs. Karima Silmawi, are you there? Just to give the final word from your side and stress the NCP services and all assistance you can give to researchers and organizations in your countries. So Umaima, you can take the floor.
Yes. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for all the participants and the panelists for this informative session. Good afternoon, everyone. Allow me first to say a brief hello once again, and to emphasize that we are very pleased to support and co-host this event. This is truly a valuable opportunity to collaborate with our colleagues from Algeria and Morocco under the MSCA Global Project, and to bring together such an engaged and diverse audience, and for the organizer from MSCA Global Project. As a national contact point, my role is to support researchers, institutions, and stakeholders in Jordan in accessing and successfully participating in Horizon Europe, particularly the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions. The services we provide as NCP are based on the minimum standards and guiding principles set by the European Commission. This means that our support is free of charge, accessible to all, transparent, and of high quality, ensuring equal opportunity for all applicants. Our services include providing clear information and awareness about MSCA calls and funding opportunities, offering guidance on proposal preparing, including eligibility rules, consortium building, and evaluation criteria, supporting partner search and matchmaking, assisting with the use of the funding and FNT portal and submission procedures, organizing info days, workshop, and training sessions. Our main goal is to simplify the process for you, reducing barriers to participation, and support you in developing strong and competitive proposals. In Jordan, we have been actively working on raising awareness about MSCA opportunities through awareness emails and events like today's Info Day. Looking ahead, we are planning to organize more focused and practical sessions in collaboration with MSCA Global project, particularly in doctoral networks and postdoctoral fellowships. In addition, we are currently discussing the possibility of organizing a physical meeting in spring or in summer 2026 in Jordan, which would provide a valuable opportunity for direct interaction and networking. We are also planning to hold another online session, most likely on the 6th of May 26, and we will share all details and invitations. If you have any questions, whether about MCSA Staff Exchange Call or any other opportunities, please do not hesitate to contact me. As NCP, we are here to support you throughout your entire journey, from shaping your initial idea to submitting successful proposal. I will also make sure to leave my contact in the chat box, and I warmly encourage you to reach out. Thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to work with many of you in the future in many MSCA projects.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
Ahmed.
Thanks a lot, Miss. Thanks a lot, Miss Ayed. Umayma, I think we will meet soon. I hope that in Jordan, and to work together with our colleagues from MSCA Global to promote MSCA and to enhance the participation of researchers based on Jordani to MSCA. So let's move to our colleague, Mrs. Karima Selmawi from Morocco, National Contact Point for MSCA. Ms. Karima, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ahmed, for this session of you organized with our colleagues. Thank you for Christina and Umayma and other colleagues. We are in Morocco. We're working with the ministry, our ministry, especially with direction of research and innovation, to organize some information session for all the researchers in Morocco. We did it last year and the years before. We try to collaborate, to help our researcher to find the call. We try to give them information about how to prepare proposal. We try to support researcher to find partner and preparing proposal. And then now we are in the next step for our mission to organize the training session for all the researcher who will prepare proposal and give them some information about this. This is our mission, session of information, support researcher in finding partner, and organizing training session for helping them to how preparing and how getting proposal. Thank you so much for your invitation, and hope I will see you in Morocco in April.
Yes, of course. Yes, thank you, Mrs.
Thank
Karima.
you so
I think
much.
we'll organize the first on-site event in Morocco in Ibn Tufayl University in 22 of April, and I'm looking forward to see you there with all colleagues from Morocco. I don't know if Mrs. Samira Shader with us or not.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, of course. So the floor is yours. It's the final word from Algeria.
Thank you for this important and very useful webinar. As an Algerian part, I have to inform all our participants that the nomination of our NCP MSCA is ongoing. So sorry to say that, because with all the information we listen during this webinar, I know there is a lot of work to make, to communicate, to share the information, the details, to also to support our researcher to submit any proposal in one of the MSCA actions. But I think it will be important for us us to accelerate this nomination. So for this, I thank you, Ahmed and Christina, and also our colleagues from Jordan and Morocco, and all the researchers who share with us their experience. And we hope it will be start up of our participation. And thank you very much. And sure, we will contact all of you to share with us your experience in managing this kind of actions, which is very, very important for us to promote and to involve more and more our participation in these actions. Thank you very much for all, and hope we see you in next events.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you, Mrs. Samira Shadel, for your kind words. So I move to Christina. The final word from you, Chris, please.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Thank you very much to all of you staying until the end of the webinar. Thank you very much to the rest of the speakers, colleagues, the MCAA, also the testimonial that we got today, and of course, the representatives being NCP or the ministry. Those are very important people you need to take into account when preparing your proposal. So I know we gave you a lot of information, a lot of numbers, how many institutions from Europe in this call, how many from Europe in the other call. You will have all the information with you, and you have our contact details. You can, of course, get back to us if something is needed from your side, but please be aware there's a lot of opportunities out there for you to seize. And, don't be shy. Try to go for it. It's always worth the effort. Even if you don't manage at the first attempt, you will always learn something in the process. So go ahead, go for it. A lot of success.
Thank you, Chris. I want to thank also our colleagues from Marie Curie Alumni Association, Precious Equer from Nigeria, and Abul Fazl also, he covered the Middle East chapter chair. Thank you, and I think we will work together for the future activities in the region, in Africa and the Middle East. And don't forget, I put the link to YouTube channel of MSCA-GLOPOL. You can just see the channel in YouTube, and we will post the recording video for this session today in this afternoon. Don't hesitate to share with your colleagues, and we will try to send you all slides, all presentations, and of course you have now your contacts from Jordan, in Morocco, in Algeria, and as representative for MSCA-GLOPOL in the region, we are here to assist you and to give you all useful information you need. So I think we come to the end, and we can say bye-bye, and Ramadan Mubarak wa Eid Mubarak also. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Ciao.